if we wanted to jump to entrepreneurship, the time is now. Number one, we have to accept that it's not going to be easy. We consulted one of the best partner, which is God, actually.
So parang in span of 1 year, ayun na, in 2018, nagbago lahat.
Bago siya. There was a time when I look at my pocket, I had only 20 dirham. Sabi ko, kaya naman ito. Abogado ako, CPA ako, wala akong pera. Mahirap yung mag-business ka pa tapos you have a spouse na hindi align sa ginagawa nyo. And it's a special decision that you have to take as husband and wife. Maganda kung if you can bring your spouse na may strength at can offer value in the business, ba't ka pa maghahanap ng people outside? Be prepared na mas marami kayong arguments other than the usual husband and wife arguments. Meron din kayong business arguments din. But it's not enough. Okay? You have to prepare and calculate. Sa entrepreneur, sabi ko nga, unless you are asleep, yung time na yun is all business time. You have to wear hats all the time. Kaya hindi madali.
We hope na if they find our story inspiring, parang they will see God's love and goodness. 12 years ng marriage, tsaka 10 years ng business, it will not be possible kung not for God alone. All glory to Him.
Welcome back to another inspiring episode of Kabayan Tayo Blueprint, where we uncover inspiring stories of Filipino entrepreneurs across the globe. I am your host, Marga, your partner in exploring inspiring stories of OFWs turned their dreams into reality. Today, we are with a remarkable guest, someone who embodies faith, resilience, and entrepreneur spirit of Filipino people. From starting as an OFW in Dubai to building a thriving business that now employs dozens of Filipinos and has a client worldwide, his story is nothing short of extraordinary. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to the owner of LiveSync Accounting FZ LLC, Mr. Dexter Destajo. Welcome! Welcome to Kabayan Tayo Blueprint, Mr. Dexter.
Thank you. It's been an honor to be invited and have this interview.
An honor. So, just give us a brief background about yourself po. Can you tell us what motivated you to become an accountant and then later a lawyer?
Okay, so I'm actually from Surigao City. I studied and lived in Cebu for more than 16 years. So why I become accountant? Actually, it's not an idea coming from me, not as a childhood dream, or even becoming a lawyer, hindi talagang childhood dream. Ang nangyari lang is that I had the guidance and the influence of my parents. Finished accountancy degree from University of San Carlos. Took immediately the CPA board and passed. Then immediately went to law school at University of Cebu. So it's not a personal aspiration. It just happened with the good guidance of my family.
May siblings po ba kayo? Or?
Yes, so I have one brother and one sister. Yung next brother ko is a civil engineer. My sister is in US, registered medical technologist. Oh.
That's nice. So you are a family of achievers, I would say.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes, thank you, Lord. So you said after 2 years, you went abroad? Tama po ba?
Yes. So yeah, after I passed the bar, and even before that, after I graduated, pumasok ako as a paralegal, and then when I passed the bar, ginawa nila akong junior litigation associate doon sa Cebu. So for 2 years, nagkaroon ako talaga ng matinding training on litigation. And then after 2 years, around 2009, I was at the point of deciding whether I have to continue and put my own private practice. When I went home one time, I spoke to my brother. My brother was here already. So sabi niya, siguro you want to go vacation muna dito sa Dubai. Sabi ko, sige, why not? So that's what happened. I came here.
Just for vacation.
And then everything else started from there.
Had no intentions of working in Dubai when you went to Dubai?
No, really. Like, it's a spite of the moment, actually, kung magdudubay ako.
How long did you plan to stay in Dubai for?
Back then, I was just thinking of mga 3 years, 5 years, and then go back private practice. But then many things happened. I was so in love with Dubai, and of course, I met my wife here as well. I had a very good job. It allows me to travel in China, Malaysia, and other countries. So parang yung ang nag-pull sa akin dito to stay because of that. So at that time, I was really hungry for doing something challenging. And we wanted to keep Dubai as our first home also.
That's nice. Can you tell us the story of how you started here for vacation and then how you started looking for a job?
Time it was,
Sorry, and also the challenges that you faced
yeah, okay.
during that first.
When I made the decision to come here in UAE, that was 2009. And we know in 2009, we're in the middle of the economic crisis globally. I didn't understand at first, but when I really came here in 2009, Dubai was almost like a ghost town. So ang first challenge ko was the first 3 months, nag-decide ako maghanap ng work applicable for my law degree. But nothing was available. So then I said, okay, I'll try accountancy. I was so blessed that may isang Lebanese company who trusted me to set up this accounting team.
So you said this Lebanese trusted you to handle a team agad?
Yeah, so they had no accounting team. So I came, then I built that because he was expanding also other companies outside of UAE. So I was also helping him.
And how was the transition? Okay naman, and also dealing with different nationalities.
So yeah, culture, like any Filipino, culture was difficult. There's the good side and the bad side. Ako naman, when I was in the Philippines, I live a very humble lifestyle. So it was not difficult for me to adjust na living in one room with several Filipino friends, kasama yung brother ko, chip in the food, and travel public transport. Yung good thing dito is, I was so in love with how Dubai or UAE in general, in terms of facilities, yung transport on time, and then the buildings, the malls, kakaiba siya. Yung culture mismo at the beginning with the other lahi, the other nationalities, yun medyo, especially yung Lebanese kong boss, he's very good, he's good-natured. Pero sometimes, yung nashock lang ako na natural sa kanila na, you know, they're very loud and parang, alam mo naman sa Pilipinas, we are not trained like that. But then, okay naman ang English, naintindihan nila naman ako, I just work hard. It was easy then, after that.
Yeah, nice. You have to start from somewhere talaga, no? So, starting from somewhere, how did you transition from being an OFW to an entrepreneur?
Okay. Actually, my wife was one of, is instrumental to that as well. So, at some point of our discussion, we discussed na kaya namin na magtayo ng company. So, before that, my wife worked, maganda yung work niya. Okay? Maganda yung pay ng work niya. Ako naman, okay din naman ako. Okay naman din ang pay. Walang problema. We live alone. We had no kids. So, nag-i-enjoy lang kami. And we said that if we wanted to jump to entrepreneurship, the time is now. Kasi wala pa kaming anak. And may savings naman kami. So, we did. Nagkaroon kami, get clients slowly. I resigned first. And then, my wife came. So yun, it's all started. And actually, by accident again, bakit accountancy? When I was in Shanghai, na-realize ko na, what if there would be, I can offer an accounting service without necessarily meeting the client in person. That was the idea. And that was 2012-13.
Okay.
At that
You
time.
were still working at the
I was
Lebanese
still working.
company. Okay.
So, I made that thought because we were expanding to China and Malaysia.
That's
And
what
I
you
have
were
difficulty managing the accounts at that time, cross-border. So I was researching na paano ba maging efficient yung reporting ng Malaysia at China sa akin na instantly ma-produce ko yung report. Because that time, kailangan ko pang pumunta, emails, so many things is happening. And all our accounts is centralized in Dubai. So yun, nag-research ako. Yun, I was presented with this technology na, cloud accounting technology na, hindi mo na kailangan. Everything is updated all together, the users can see it. Doon nagumpisa, and then give me an idea like, we can do this. I
Yeah.
mean, at that time, wala pa. When I made the research, there's only one company then who was offering the same thing. So I took that jump. We decided together. And then we use that technology moving forward.
The topic of jumping in po, Miss Janice, welcome to Kabayan Tayo Blueprint. Can you please share us the story of how you and Mr. Dexter meet? And then how did you end up discussing the business?
Yes, 2005, I came here, and 2010, we met. Dahil I took the City Board exam review program. And that's where, isa siya sa mga instructor namin. So I was teaching business law doon sa review. And then, we got married in 2011. Tapos, 2014, when we started the business. So, during those times, para pa kami nag-work. May different work kami. Tapos in 2013, actually, parang we were in the crossroad lang talaga na sabi namin, Lord, what's next for us? Kasi we've been here for many years, we've been working, tapos parang, di ba, at some point, ano kaya yung next for us? Lord, what do you want us to do? Tapos, slowly lang, we follow God's leading, na parang, siguro, in-arrange din ni Lord kung ano yung mga kailangan namin. He provided everything.
Paano napunta sa topic na, okay, mag-business na tayo?
We had to make a decision because we don't have kids yet, and there was an opportunity for us. No, kaya mo yan, gawin mo. It was important for me that she was okay. Kasi pag sabihin niya, no, I will never do it. I will never do it. I will never do
Happy
it.
wife, happy life.
Not only that, it's just that parang yung push na yun nanggaling talaga sa kanya. Like, you can do it. Like, ganon. We start. So then, we started small and yun na nga, yun nangyari. But yes, she was instrumental on really making the idea possible. Parang na, I had the confidence na, okay, I'm doing consulting already. Okay, let's make this really just our own business. Parang ganon.
How did you manage the risk and uncertainties of starting a business while living abroad?
It was simple. For us, like, number one, we have to accept that it's not going to be easy. So once we did that, we realized that we just work everything backward, right? So number one, at the beginning, it should be me. Like, and very important also, I wanted to emphasize, by the way, we consulted one of the best partner, which is God, actually. So we prayed at the time of the transition. I just wanted to add this. During the transition, before we actually register, we would really seek God's guidance talaga. Sabi namin, Lord, if this is really for us forward, this is our intention, we want to help more families, and maganda ang buhay namin. If this would be for us, you would guide us. It will be frictionless. Pag-resign, paghanap ng clients, and we got our answers. Okay, so wala naging problema doon, and I had the wisdom also to make this calculation. When we started already, we wanted to make sure na we are frugal. We bootstrap talaga. Ako lang muna ang employee, no office muna. So our first office is our living room. For more than 2 years, mami, right? So for more than 2 years, I started my first employees from the Philippines. From day on, I hired already the people in the Philippines working for me remotely. And then,
Handling clients from UAE.
yes, because I have the technology and I have set up the process already for me.
Yeah.
So it was easy. So I brought in board one accountant, 2, 3 from the Philippines. In fact, the very first employee that I hired from the Philippines, she's here in Dubai. She's my assistant manager right now.
Still with us.
She's still with us for after 10 years. And so frugal, no salary, no office, no overhead. It's just pure looking for clients, building our website. People will be aware that we are there. And I had also to do my strategic planning as well. A business development canvas. Alam namin kung sino ang partner, paano kumita, ano ang pricing namin. So we did our homework. We prepared that as well. But the biggest challenge we had is na pregnant siya on the same year we founded the company. So, nag-resign siya na ready na siya. After 3 months, Mami, when you resign, na-find out namin na he was pregnant.
After ilang years din na.
Trial namin.
Trying, yeah.
So, ang nangyari, I was left for 2 years na ako lang talaga. Ako lang talaga. So, she was not involved. Even on the admin levels, hindi. So, ayun, yun ang nagiging greatest challenge namin na I was hoping na kaming dalawa, but then, wala. So, then I had to rely. Iba yung plan ni Lord for us. So, luckily naman, nagkaroon naman kami ng people, the right people at the beginning. Po.
Going back to starting the business, when you resigned, you applied for a license, so you have a actual business ready to start. You were about to resign. Can you tell us more about that story?
So, I resigned supposed to be to help him doon sa accounting firm. But then, parang few months lang, on that same year, I got pregnant. Which is also very important to us kasi we've been waiting for years na rin. But the catch is, I got pregnant, wala akong health insurance. Kasi I resigned already, diba? Tapos, inuna namin yung mga business expenses. So, unfortunately, hindi namin siya na-prioritize. It was unexpected talaga. So, doon nag-start na parang nagpatong-patong yung personal expenses and then yung business challenges. We were ready for the business challenges. Diba, everyone is telling us na it will not be easy at first. So, sabi namin, we had enough savings, we had yung gratuity from previous employment, we had, everything. Tapos, the unexpected blessing came. And I had a difficult pregnancy.
Yeah.
Tapos, emergency CS pa. And imagine yung hospital bill. So, si Lord lang talaga nakakaalam paano kami nakalabas ng hospital nun. And then we had to hire na nga someone from Philippines kasi I cannot help him immediately. Grabe lang yung challenges. So, at that point, parang I have at some point na I was questioning, parang tama ba? Or parang sabi nga ako nga yung isa sa nag-push. And then I was at one point na balik na lang agad ako na mag-corporate. Parang tama ba na nag-resign agad ako ganun. Kasi nga, we were really difficult, na talaga, in a difficult situation.
Plus, additional challenges pa. Yung mga bagong clients namin, ang tagal magbayad. Hindi nagbabayad. In fact, some point nga, hindi talaga kami nabayaran. So yun, nagpato-pato. In short,
Wala kaming salary. Inuuna namin lahat yung,
Sa business.
so ang gusto namin, we decided from the beginning na kung may tao tayo, kahit magkahirap-hirap tayo financially, pero yung staff talaga, hindi dapat hindi talaga sila hindi masweldohan. At the beginning, nagkaroon kami ng mga delay na sahod, pero we make it a point na hindi susobra ng mga 5 days, ganyan. So, gusto namin na ma-covered yun before anything else. Kaya ang nangyayari, medyo nabaon din kami sa utang initially. So maraming mga hindi na-calculate, right? Again, of course, lalapit ka talaga kay Lord like, paano ba to, Lord? Of course, again, di naman tayo binabayaan ni Lord.
But if I may add, looking back, it's all worth it. Kasi, kung accounting talaga yung kinuha namin, dahil sa accounting nagkakilala kami, and then accounting business pala yung ibibigay sa amin ni Lord. Yun.
Oo. Hindi rin kami nag-regret doon na nag-con kami kasi maganda naman din yung pinalit doon. Nagkaroon kami ng isang mabait na anak, which actually is a source of our inspiration today.
So how did you overcome that challenge? So after 9 months, you gave birth. So how did it go into you joining na the business from being a mother?
So, una, we got help from my mother. Siya muna yung nag-alaga. Then I bring my other sister. And that starts na makapag-focus kaming dalawa. So,
okay.
Imagine when nung nag-join siya, she joined already 2015. So, almost 2 years nag-join. Then may mga tao na kami. Mga clients not paying. So, ganun. So, nagkaroon ng difficult. And this process continued for the next 3 years actually. Na talagang struggle talaga kami. So, nangyari, on that point, dumadami din ng clients. So, in 2016, when we had 20 clients already, parang okay na yung cash flow namin. Like, okay, may continuous na. Pero it's still not enough. Ang nangyayari kasi sa amin, sa business namin, is that, sa industry namin, you need to put new accountants so that you can receive more clients. So what happened is, okay, profit at stage, profitable na, sabihin natin, okay na yung cash, break even. Kaso, you need to spend more to hire more people. So parang nangyayari, tumataas yung revenue mo, tumataas din yung cost mo.
Yeah.
So parang yun ang binabalanse namin. So okay lang until slowly nabayaran na yung mga utang namin, may something kami for ourselves. And ayun, it was not easy. First 3 years talaga mahirap. I can cry when I will remember that, na talagang I remember there was a time when I look at my pocket, I had only 20 dirham. And then I had this in myself, sabi ko, nakakaya naman ito. Abogado ako, CPA ako, wala akong pera. It's very humbling. Wala talaga. Wala, as in, I always believe that God will always provide. So, ang ginagawa ko lang, pray, Lord, sahod na next 2 days. Wala pang perang pumapasok. So, yun naman, talagang si Lord, the best partner talaga namin. Naririnig niya, okay, funding. So, si Lord ang paparaan ng funding namin. So, makakapagsahod talaga. So, amazing na sa business namin, wala kaming utang. Pero sa personal, mga utang tayo, di ba? So, we live with credit cards and it's a humbling experience. Ang tao na sasahuran despite difficulty. Kasi nga, people first talaga kami.
So your company has grown into 40 employees,
Yes.
40 qualified accountants, or more than 40
So,
qualified
actually
accountants.
more than, so many of them, more than half of them are actually like fresh grads. So yes, more than 40.
So what do you think is the key to this success? What you mentioned earlier na more clients, so you needed more people and also more cost but how did you manage?
So, you calculate first before executing, not execute then calculate backwards. So, naisip namin na we need to hire people so that we have capacity. Sa amin, it's important na maumpisa yung capacity. So, we have to invest in people in hiring. Now, the decision whether to hire in UAE or in the Philippines, it was no-brainer. Kasi, may sistema kami. So, sabi namin, that we hire one person here first, and then, we hired several people already sa Pilipinas. So, doon ang dumadami sa Pilipinas. Ayun, nag-drive namin na mabababa yung cost namin. So, yes, nag-hire kami pataas.
Pero
Pero yung revenue, and then yung cost, hindi masyado.
Yeah.
Oo.
What strategies do you use to ensure the quality and consistency of your service across different markets?
Okay. I think it will have to start with, you have to be very strategic leader as well. You must make sure your company is set to handle scale, growth, maraming clients, maraming empleyado. Okay? And of course, at the beginning pa lang, dinidefine na namin kung ano ang vision namin. Ano yung mission namin. Okay? And then, we define also what corporate values that we will have. And very important today, until today, is to really develop earlier on yung corporate culture namin.
Before I dive into your work-life balance, I would like to ask you your faith. So how has your faith involvement in the community, such as the Lord's flock, influenced the way you run your business?
Okay. While we are a very prayerful family and we talk to God, consult to God, parang it was only us. And I had an invitation with my very good friend who was there already. He invited me to go there. And doon, ang dami naming realization. Strengthen namin yung concept namin na God to be our partner. We learn many things. For example, being cheerful giver. We do tithe as well. We share to God because of our gratefulness to His power that He always provide for us. And ang dami din naming natutulungan din na mga at namimit na mga kasama namin sa other community, right? And it made us more responsible and compassionate employers. We also slowly bring the culture also of prayer in our company. So may mga kasama kami sa team, nakasama na din namin sa community.
that's nice.
Oo. Quality first. So yung quality, we make sure that we hire the right people. So the quality starts on hiring the right people. Yun sa amin. Then we hire fresh grads. Fresh grads, I think, intentionally, na hungry for experience, and they will really work hard. And then, day one pa lang, we train them. So we invest on training for them in the first month as well. So this is where we start our quality from the people. Second, quality in our process. So i-merge ko na dito yung isa naming values, which is innovation. So yung core values namin na innovation, we wanted to use technology when we are providing our service, right? So from the software, from the mode of productivity tools, sa communication namin, okay, may technology palagi. Wala lang kaming paper. Kung pupunta ka sa opisina, hindi mo makikita yung paper na accounting company, puro mga libro. No. It's all in the cloud, everything. So, yun. So, this is where we feel we can be competitive, no? Another thing is also our care for people and also doing the extra mile with our clients. And then, another would be the culture. So, importante na naintindihan ng mga staff namin na kailangan they will be aligned to our corporate culture. And isa sa mga very strongest culture namin is to learn fast. If you're a newcomer, you're a fresh grad, but you don't learn fast, you are not aligned. So we just screen from there. So we know people who would cross the 1 month, we know they can learn fast.
Under probationary sila,
yes,
so you take that very seriously.
Yeah. And then finally, yung pinaka system-based kami instead of people-based. Kasi sa industry namin, ang resignation natural every month. Yes. So this month may mag-resign. So sa kanya naman yun. Sa kanya yung admin and HR. So ipapasa ko lang yan sa kanya.
So more on
siya yung
technical,
magsusolve sa
technical,
amin. So kaya ang importante na process-based kami. Kasi every now and then mawawala ang tao, pero yung process-based nandoon pa rin. Susundan lang. Walang madi-disrupt. The client will not feel na may disruption sa service namin. All that, not necessarily because we are good business entrepreneurs, but because nililid kami ni Lord ng ganitong idea.
And then we learn to consult Him sa lahat ng business decisions. Always seek Him.
Moving on to the work-life balance, as husband and wife, both you and your wife are integral parts of this business. So how do you balance your roles in life, in business, and as husband and wife, and as parents, and as community, part of the community? So let's start with business muna.
So sa business, there was a point that we have to divide responsibilities. Okay? Very clear responsibilities. Intentionally agreed na ito yung gagawin mo, ito yung gagawin ko. At the beginning, that was a struggle. Kasi ang role ko basically, business development and client services. Then yung team niya, HR and admin. Now, at the beginning, why challenging? Kasi nag-i-encroach ako sa... Ako ang nagde-decision. So, because I used to it, right? On that decision. And then, of course, pag-usapan namin, like, she cannot do it if I keep interfering the decision. So, we said, okay, fine. So, kasi nasanay din ang team na lahat ng tanong sa akin diretso. So now, once we have established that, na na-divide na namin, I made it clear sa team. If this is about HR, about request for people, about timing of salary, performance evaluation, anything admin, do not ask me. Yeah? If you ask me the pricing for a client for quotation, you ask me. You don't ask her.
So, una, between us, it should be clear before we make the team understand.
Yes.
I have to honor that. Even if I am the leader of the business, I have to respect that for everybody. And so far, it did good for us.
And also roles at home. How did you maintain like a healthy work-life balance?
Actually, mas busy kami sa pag-weekend. We always look forward for weekend kasi nga yung aming church and community commitments. Other than that, yung family time kasi we have 9-year-old son na gusto na rin ng outdoor. But we are not more on outdoor kasi talaga. But ayun, we always make sure na we give time sa family.
Do you have like a timing na dapat both of you o dapat 9 to 5 lang tayo pag uwi, home time, ganon? No specific. So how does that dynamics work? How do you spend time
Ikaw wala.
at work? How do you spend time with your son and together as husband and wife?
Actually, siguro pag talagang business owner ka, tapos you love what you do, hindi ka na nagka-calculate. Pero we make sure na kasi kung anong timing ng team, we are online. Dapat nandun, or yung clients, dapat nandun kami nakasupport. Available lagi kami online. But meron din kami sa work, pag nasa bahay, dedicated din talaga kami sa work. So, kapag after office hours, we can still entertain, pero online na lang. And then that's where we spend time sa family. Then weekend, talagang wala. Walang
yun.
work.
Sa akin naman, general rule, everything is business hour.
Okay.
Sa
Business
akin,
hour here, right?
that's
Not
not
in
like,
the Philippines. Or depends
only
on
when
client.
I'm not sleeping, it's not business hour.
Okay.
Okay, so if I'm
Okay,
sleeping, it's not business hour. But from the moment I wake up, I look at my phone, I would see, kasi you have to understand, dalawa yung time zone namin.
Yun.
Yung Philippine time zone and Dubai time zone. So yun lang ang kagandahan din talaga doon. Kasi nasanay nga anak namin na sa bahay kami mag-work. Pag aalis kami, nagtatanong siya, why you need to go to the office? Like, parang gano'n. Key talaga sa amin, why there is really balance is the people nakasama namin sa team. Strongly reliable. And the system is in place already. So I don't need to micromanage everybody. I don't do that anymore.
How do you both maintain your relationship as business partners and husband and wife?
Actually, I don't make a distinction eh.
Yun nga, sa una siguro, mahirap. Kasi, di ba, we were both working. Tapos, iba yung dynamics din namin, iba yung work.
Work ethics,
Ethics.
work kagwa namin. Oh.
But then, siguro, it takes a lot of adjustment sa una. But then, after few years, parang we realized it's actually a big blessing, di ba, na partner kayo in business and in life. Siguro lang, lahat ng important aspects sa marriage, present din siya doon sa business as business partners, like so, mutual respect, tapos open yung communication, and then yung support system.
Actually, yung mga pinag-aawayan namin ngayon, it's not more of personal. So, but general rule, we still feel that we are more husband and wife rather than business partners. Kasi parang part lang siya ng family activity yung business namin. Diba? But we respectfully do our own things separately ng mga gagawin.
Ang galing, no? Meron kayong proper boundaries with each other.
In terms of work. Work.
And also as husband and wife, like, you have your own thing going on as a mother and as a father also and as like a father of the company.
Yes. Ang nakagandahan pa doon is I'm just very blessed na hindi lang ako nagkaroon ng wife talaga. Talagang totoong business partner at saka talagang very reliable siya. Mas reliable, very organized. Hindi ako organized. She organized everything for me. Even this interview, she organized this for me. Ganon lang talaga ang pinakamalaking blessing doon sa nangyayari. Kung ako lang, I'll tell you it would be different. Kung ako lang talaga. Because as a professional, as the one part of in the business, magaling siya sa ginagawa niya.
So, what qualities do you think are essential for couples who want to get into business together? Since we're talking about your roles, so like as business, ano yung mga qualities sa tingin nyo ang makakatulong sa aspiring partner, husband, wife na maging partner din in business?
Yun nga, hindi lahat ng married couple is given a chance na maging business partner din. Siguro number one yung support system talaga. Now, we should always be each other's support. Cheerleader, prayer warrior, ganon. Dapat one accord kayo. Dapat yung purpose ninyo align together. Hindi pwedeng magkasalungat kayo. So, pag the moment na nag-align na yung purpose nyo, siguro yung continuous lang na support, continuous pa rin. Yung communication, yung respect.
So, I think it's important also to understand ano yung strength ng spouse mo. Of course, again,
Compliment.
oo.
Compliment.
Ang business kasi, mahirap yung mag-business ka pa tapos you have a spouse na hindi align sa ginagawa nyo. And it's a special decision that you have to take as husband and wife. Akin naman, I have to understand what is her strength. So nakita ko siya organize siya, mas magaling siya in many things than me, realizing that it was an easy decision that ito dapat ang roles niya. So, start by understanding ko ano yung kakayahan niya, and then trust and respect that she can actually do it. Be prepared na mas marami kayong arguments other than the usual husband and wife arguments. Meron din kayong business arguments din. And ang mahirap dyan is yung being objective. Oo. So kami, we try to be as much as, mahirap kasi minsan may emotion. So we try to be objective. Look at in the perspective of the 45 families who's depending on us. Yun ang sinasabi namin palagi. Okay, how do we resolve this considering the 45 families that are, working with us? Will it change? This is where we take sidestep and then tingnan namin objectively. Kasi pwede namang ma-influence lang sa gusto namin. Di ba? So mahirap yun. So, you bring your spouse in the business and it create problems. Wag na lang. Wag na lang. So you have to make sure that there is value on that. As hindi siya requirement, hindi siya necessary, but maganda kung if you can bring your spouse na may strength at can offer value in the business, ba't ka pa maghahanap ng people outside?
Yes.
Once you bring him in as a spouse, you have to define what you need to do. Number 2, also respect. Kung ano yung gagawin niya, gagawin mo. No cross boundaries. Otherwise, magkaroon ng conflict.
Sorry, just a side note, it's cross boundaries kasi you also have an accounting background. Are there ever times that you would ask her for accounting advices, ganon, or you would ask him on HR advice, or you just stop? You don't talk about each other's roles. Ganon.
Actually, we consult each other.
So, meron kaming different roles, pero lahat ng business decisions together.
Together kami. Yung execution, yes, there are roles, pero meron kaming execom, actually, na kami involved weekly. Na intentionally, yun lang ang pag-uusapan namin. So again, system-based, right? So part of our system is we have an execom meeting where we seriously discuss, we move out ourselves as husband and wife and become just really business partners.
So looking back, what are the lessons that you've learned from being an OFW to now business entrepreneurs?
Very impractical sense is dapat idea is not enough. It's not enough. You have to prepare and calculate. The risk, ano ba ang benefit mo dyan, ano mga kailangan mo, ano pwede mong i-avoid, anong pwede mong gawin. Develop certain skill set din pala. Right? So, kailangan you have to build skill set of selling, business development, finance, people, management. Yun, kailangan mo yung skill set na yun. Hindi lang, passion ko to kasi masarap ako magluto or creative ako kaya ganito. It should not be enough. Kasi kung yan lang, then you don't have a plan, you don't calculate.
So, dun sa developing skills, even if parang akala natin alam na niya lahat, he also go through yung pag-aaral, pagbasa ng mga books, business books. And then when I was assigned na to handle the HR admin, I even took
Masteral. Oo. Yun. So,
never ending dapat yung learning.
yeah. Number 2, you have to bootstrap and be frugal. Kasi na-realize namin na kung maluho kami, right, it would go, nawala na yung business, right? Kainin na kami sa utang namin. Number 3, yun nga, people first. Kailangan bigyan mo ng special attention ang mga tao talaga. Isa yun sa mga natutunan namin na alagaan ng tao. Right? And then, of course, hindi magiging ganito yung live sync kung hindi namin talagang ginawang partner si Lord. Sa relationship namin sa mga tao namin, and also in the business. Kasi, alam mo, hindi naman kami kilala talaga. Pero bakit ang client dumadating? Saan man nanggaling yun, di ba? Number 1 referrer, the Lord. Di ba? he used people to bring the business to us. Ganun lang yun.
Sa tingin niyo ang common misconception ng OFWs, I mean, a biggest misconception of people about to start having a business abroad?
I'll start by saying, madali na yung pag-manage mo ng time kung ikaw ay business owner kasi ikaw na yung may freedom ka na sa time mo. It's totally wrong. Mas masaya pa nga sa corporate world kasi papasok ka 9 o'clock, lalabas ka 6 o'clock. After that, wala ka lang iisipin. Sa entrepreneur, sabi ko nga, unless you are asleep, yung time na yun is all business time. So walang limit na 8 hours. And then, you have to wear hats all the time. Kaya hindi madali. Yung tinatawag natin delayed gratification. Alam mo, we are 10 years this year. Okay, we are 10 years this year. Masasabi mo na we're still a small company. Okay? Kasi nga, we're growing, the cost also grows, right? So, as much as possible, we don't take something. So, yung pera ng business, hiwala yun. It's not our money. Kami, we run, the way our process is based is employee din kami ng company. I get a salary, she get a salary. More than that, if I'm getting any money, utang ko yun sa company. Because you have to have that discipline na yung pera ng business na lang talaga yan.
So how do you hope, with the success of your business, how do you hope your story will inspire other Filipino couples and families?
What we wanted is always to give back to the community, as much as possible. In fact, we spend more time to help Filipino entrepreneurs. Pag may client kaming Filipino entrepreneurs, we give more time to them actually. And then mababa pa nga yung fees namin. So that's one. What we wanted is that to send a message na pwede kang maging successful sa UAE and start a business. Just take the first step of the intention and the desire that you can build a business. Kasi ang nakikita ko sa mga kababayan natin, they are settled with content of just being an employee. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, ang masasabi ko lang kasi, malaki ang opportunity for us. Especially sa Filipino. Why? We're so hardworking. Our tolerance of failure is high. And you need that as a business person. And then, kung capital naman, there's many ways to find capital as well, no? I feel na ang not only here in UAE, but even in the Philippines, I can speak first for my industry. Filipino accountants are very good. Globally, there is scarcity or pagkukulang ng mga accountants. And I would see the future wherein, of course, may AI naman, pero hindi pa rin mawawala yung mga accountants, right? And this is also equivalently true to other professions as well. If you are in consulting or other businesses. Do not be afraid to entertain in your mind na mag-business. Bakit? The technology levels the playing field. So anong difference natin sa ibang nationalities? Tayo, matagal ang process nating mag-isip to take risk. Sila, pag nakita na, they will act on it, right? Tayo, marami tayong mga baggages eh. May takot tayo magpag-usap sa mga tao, or takot tayo ma-trouble tayo. Well, business is always that risk. Pero, ang yung work ethic natin, yung talents natin, at saka yung marunong tayo sa mga tao, isa yun sa mga malaking asset na kung if you use that, I think we will excel in the global stage. We will excel in the global stage. Kaso nga kasi nililimit lang natin ang sarili natin. So if with the technology, we will level the playing field, and then with our work ethics, and then ang ating desire to work with other people, malaki ang potential ng Filipino sa business economic community. Yeah.
Ano lang, yung marami kaming opportunities na makakilala ng mga fellow Filipino entrepreneurs dito sa Dubai, and nakaka-proud talaga din sila. Yung, di ba, matyaga, madiskarte, ganyan. And yung Filipino people, talents, they have the power to influence talaga globally. Parang no question. So, ano lang, hopefully, we keep on inspiring everyone, uplift isa't isa.
And then, and always be willing to share that knowledge. Like ngayon, this is one way of us sharing our story, na they would learn from it na kaya pala din namin. So sila, kaya din nila.
We hope na if they find our story inspiring, parang they will see God's love and goodness. Kasi yung 12 years ng marriage, tsaka 10 years ng business, it will not be possible kung not for God alone. All glory to Him.
What are your future plans for LiveSync Accounting? What do you plan to expand? New ventures?
So yeah, LiveSync alone, gusto namin magkaroon ng offices in other Middle East country. So like Saudi, Qatar. So these are in our vision line. In terms of client offering, we're planning to get more clients from the US and from Australia. So isa yan. Kasi medyo, ang focus namin ngayon ay more on UAE and Southeast Asia. So, and then Philippines. So yun ang client profile namin. So we wanted to expand to that demographic of clients also. And then we want to also extend a new service offering, which is the virtual service. Not only accounting. So, virtual outsourcing from admins and that, kasi nakita namin yung need sa mga clients namin. So, yun ang gusto namin gawin. Hopefully, the Lord will allow us to do that.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Mga Filipino entrepreneurs, if you need help in your business, accounting, taxation. So we have a website, livesyncaccounting.com. Okay, we have also a Facebook page, LiveSync Accounting Middle East. For Filipinos po, entrepreneurs, I recommend that kung wala naman kayong consultant, contact us. We are here. We're Filipino. We want to help Filipino entrepreneur. Contact us. Don't mind kung it would cost you or not. I'll tell you, it's a consultation. It's always free. It's always free. Take advantage of what I know, what we know, how we help the other businesses. We can help you. Just reach out to us. We can talk to you. We can help you. Yeah.
And that wraps up today's episode of Kabayan Tayo Blueprint. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Dexter and Ms. Janice Destajo. Thank you for sharing us your inspiring stories from being an OFW to successful business entrepreneurs. Your story is a powerful reminder that with faith, determination, and hard work, anything is possible. To our viewers and listeners, we hope you have learned from this episode as much as we have. Remember, success isn't about where you start, but it's about how you persevere and the legacy you build along the way. Don't forget to follow us for more inspiring stories of Filipino excellence across the world. Hanggang sa susunod mga kabayan, stay inspired, empowered, and always remember what we think we become.